The cherished objects we had brought with us thus far were left behind in the train, and with them, at last, our illusions. Every 2 yards or so, an SS man held his Tommy gun trained on us. Hand in hand, we followed the crowd. An SS non-commissioned officer came to meet us, a truncheon in his hand. He gave the order, "Men to the left, women to the right." 8 words spoken quietly, indifferently, without emotion. 8 short, simple words. Yet that was the moment when I parted from my mother. I had not had time to think, but already I felt the pressure of my father's hand. We were alone. For part of a second I glimpsed my mother and my sisters moving away to the right. Zipporah held Mother's hand. I saw them disappear into the distance. My mother was stroking my sister's fair hair as though to protect her, while I walked on with my father and the other men. And I did not know that in that place, at that moment, I was parting from my mother and Zipporah forever. I went on walking. My father held onto my hand. Behind me, an old man fell to the ground. Near him was an SS man putting his revolver back in its holster. My hand shifted on my father's arm. I had one thought, not to lose him, not to be left alone. The SS officers gave the order, "Form 5s! Commotion. At all costs, we must keep together." "Here, kid, how old are you?" It was one of the prisoners who asked me this. I could not see his face, but his voice was tense and weary. "I'm not quite 15 yet." No, 18. "But I'm not," I said. 15. "Fool! Listen to what I say." Then he questioned my father, who replied, 50. The other grew more furious than ever. "No, not 50, 40. Do you understand? 18 and 40. He disappeared into the night shadows. We continued our march toward the square. In the middle stood the notorious Dr. Mengele, a typical SS officer, a cruel face, but not devoid of intelligence, and wearing a monocle. A conductor's baton in his hand, he was standing among the other officers. The baton moved unremittingly, sometimes to the right, sometimes to the left. I was already in front of him. "How old are you?" he asked, in an attempt at a paternal tone of voice. 18. My voice was shaking. "Are you in good health?" "Yes." "What's your occupation?" Should I say that I was a student? "Farmer," I heard myself say. The conversation cannot have lasted more than a few seconds. It had seemed like an eternity to me. The baton moved to the left. I took half a step forward. I wanted to see first where they were sending my father. If he went to the right, I would go after him. The baton once again pointed to the left for him too. A weight was lifted from my heart.